All right, part 5. Question, McCallus A. He's got, looks like 3 questions here. Part 1 of his question, what's your opinion about carbs? Carbs are great, man. I mean, as long as you're not just consuming, pure sugar for your carbs, I think it's great to get a lot of carbs in. You just need to look at it as, okay, I got a lot of carbs in. Let's burn these carbs now, right? Use it as a source of fuel. It's the best source of fuel you can use. So I think people that go on like these ketogenic diets and try to avoid carbs and just eat proteins and fats, I mean, if you're really trying to lean out and you don't mind suffering in that regard with your diet, sure, but I really think that your performance should be the main factor in getting bigger and getting leaner, just work out harder, work out longer, whatever you need to do. But I don't follow any strict diet. I just work out a lot, and I have pretty good abs. I'm relatively lean without watching what I eat. I don't eat junk food. I don't eat fast food and stuff like that, but I'm not like, all right, I'm gonna have 6 meals a day with my lean protein, and you know what I mean? I don't do that. I just work out a lot, and I go hard when I work out. So part 2, also, how do you manage body fat so low with GOMAD? I know it's calories in versus calories out, but do you count any macros at all? Well, it's pretty easy to count your macros with GOMAD. A gallon of milk, whole milk, is 2,400 calories. So that's basically my base for calories, and then anything else, I don't really count them. As long as they get that gallon in, I know that at least I'm probably hitting my maintenance calories, so I'm not gonna atrophy. If I feel like I'm starting to store more fat, then I just, like I said, I might just incorporate like some bike sprints or something before I start my lift for strength and conditioning. You know what I mean? It just, don't overcomplicate things. Don't drive yourself crazy. Like, GOMAD is awesome, man, for real. Honestly, how many times do I have to recommend it? If you want to put size on, drink your gallon of milk a day. If you feel like you're putting some fat on, well, it's going to be inevitable when you're putting size on. Like, you're not just going to gain tons of lean mass without putting any fat on. It doesn't work that way. You'll put some fat on, but then that fat will strip off very easily. Like, for instance, I've been doing the gallon of milk a day for like 7 years almost. And anytime I just cut it out, like, I strip so much fat just because that's 2,400 calories I'm not getting. And then I jump back on, get in the gallon of milk in, and I put tons of weight back on. So very simple to bulk and then cut if you want to do it that way. But like I said about the first part of the question, just work harder or work longer, right? Let that be the factor that's going to get you cut up as opposed to limiting your diet. Just, stick with whole foods. Don't eat processed garbage. You'll be good. Also about the carbs too. Like, as I said, I don't focus too much on specific diets and meals and things of that sort. But one thing that I've been doing that I find is really awesome is consuming tons of honey before and after my workouts. I think that it's really been helping me with recovery and just with my natural energy levels. Part 3. Also, you said 1 movement per day. Will this apply for general aesthetics besides getting strong AF? Also, let us know how to program this method. General aesthetics. So I wouldn't just do 1 movement a day if you're going for the looks, but I think the 3 movements per day, as I talked about in a different video, is a great way to go about it. Squat every single day and just rotate. Bench one day, deadlift another day. Do something like that. I think if you just focus on getting stronger at those lifts, and then like I talked about in the video right before this one, just incorporate some super high volume band work. I think that'll be a great way, because you're gonna hit every different energy system in that regard. Then you're going for the pure strength, making your nervous system more efficient with particular movements. You're gonna get a heck of a lot stronger with your squats, deadlifts, and bench, and then just hitting some high rep band pull aparts, high rep tricep push downs, the bands, just band and curls, band and face pulls, all that kind of stuff. That stuff's not going to hinder your recovery at all, because I've been doing it every single day and I don't see a difference really. what's making a difference in my recovery, which is why you guys aren't seeing quite as many videos with my strength training for what I do in my garage, is just that I'm on multiple programs right now. I'm on a strength and conditioning program, upper lower split, and it's very difficult when you put so much into the morning workout and then you're training to hit a big PR at night. It's just not sustainable. So I'm not saying I'm not going to stick with it, but I've just been kind of busy. We'll see what I can do today since it's Sunday and I didn't train before this. What progression scheme do you use in your training? Well, the stuff that you guys see on my YouTube channel is simple. Just always going for a bigger PR. If it's not a 1 rep max, then hit a 3 rep, 5 rep, 10 rep max, whatever movement you're doing. Just always trying to better your PRs, right? In one way or another, whether it's reps, whether it's pure strength. How do you handle unexpected life events and their effect on training? Do you think lifting is all about the mentality and would not be impacted substantially by lower calories or sleep once in a while? Once in a while, no, I don't think it'll make a difference. Like if you get a bad night's rest, it's not going to affect your sleep that much. If it's consistent, like you're like fasting consistently, or like just not eating enough consistently, you're not getting enough sleep consistently, and then of course it's going to affect your recovery and it's going to affect your performance. Unexpected life events, just don't let it affect your training. It's one thing, so if you can't get to the gym, then so be it, but there's always stuff you can do. If I can't train, or I'm just completely shot from earlier training and I wanted to get something extra in, you can even just do, get one of those home pull-up bars, put in your doorway. Just do push-ups, do squat jumps, right? Do lunge jumps, or anything like that. You can always do something, and you always should do something. There's always something you can do. Or say you can't get to the gym, just do yoga for that night, and then just use that mental aspect of, okay, I didn't train, I did yoga this night before, so I'm going to go and I'm going to kill this workout because I'm fresh, I'm rested, I'm recovered. I would say a big part of it is mental, but at the same time, like I said earlier, if it's consistently, like you're not sleeping enough, eating enough, well, of course it's going to affect your performance. Uncertain tube, why are you so QT? Just genetics, man. Genetics, training a lot, right? Just, it's pure and simple. Epic, the epicist. Using your training method, should someone focus on one lift before switching to another? How long do you set a goal weight and then switch lifts once you hit the goal? Again, man, basically the majority of the stuff that you've seen on my YouTube channel, it's just been for fun, right? I do a lift and I just do it until I stop progressing, right? Because if you're not going to keep progressing with it, then you're going to lose the drive to keep doing it. It's not as fun anymore, and then you're gonna mentally burn out with that lift. You're gonna cash out, and you're just gonna go through the motions as opposed to being amped up and enthusiastic to hit new PRs every single day. So I just pick a lift and then I do it until I plateau, and then I pick something else that may have benefited from the previous lift that I was doing, or I pick something else that it's like, all right, I haven't worked my chest, my shoulders, my triceps in a long time. I've been doing all these pulls for so long. Let's do a press. Try to get some of that size and strength back. It's, you keep it simple. You basically just do what inspires you. You do what you're enthusiastic about, because that's what you're going to make the best strength gains with. Danot Stinga, shoulder impingement rehab exercises. Also tell us about your bad shoulder. Alright, so must have been about 4 years ago now or so. 4 years ago, I believe I had a little shoulder impingement and I sprained my AC joint. Main reason could have been a couple different things. I was doing too narrow of a bench press and I was going too low when I was pressing. That could have been it, or because at the same time I was also doing, I was working on cleans, and I wanted to do Olympic lifting for a tad bit, but I tried doing cleans with too wide of a grip, so it might have been when I caught it. I don't know exactly what happened, but I just remember that just constant stinging and kind of just throbbing in my shoulder, and any type of pressing I would do would really flare it up. And then there was that point that any internal rotation whatsoever. It would just hurt my shoulder. So the biggest thing that I found helped out with that was like cable reverse flies, band pull aparts, really wide grip lat pull downs. Just those 3 things. I did those every single day, and before you know it, like, the pain was just gone. Not a question. Just want to say you are amazing. Awesome lifts. Thank you, Carassus Sword. Thank you, bro. VTMO 2, which novice program would you recommend a novice lifter? How would your recommendations change according to their sport? Novice program. You know, honestly, like I said in the previous video, if you're an athlete, it depends on how many days a week you're training. If you're training 3 days a week, I would just do full body every day, every time you train, that is. If you're training 4 days a week, or even if you're training 6 days a week, 7 days a week, I would just rotate between upper and lower. But even if doing so, I'd recommend squatting every single day. Find which squat is the most comfortable to you. Progress a lot with that. I wouldn't, if you're an athlete, I wouldn't even bother doing conventional deadlifts, sumo deadlifts. I really don't, there's no point. Any athletic program I've been involved in throughout my life, conventional deadlifts were never incorporated. And I've had mentors, the head strength and conditioning coach of Wisconsin when they were, a powerhouse, Rose Bowl multiple times. Brad Arnett, who trains tons of pros like JJ Watts, like his guy that he's built from nothing to incredible athlete, superstar. Program I'm involved in now. Never do conventional deadlifts, never do sumo deadlifts. It's always trap bar deadlifts. So don't worry about like powerlifting and people's perception online, because that's not going to have any effect on your performance, right? Just do movements that are going to allow you to lift a lot of weight in the most comfortable way for you, basically. And that's stuff that's going to make you more explosive, stuff that's going to make you be able to jump higher, run faster, stuff that's going to keep you healthy as well, that you feel like doesn't tweak you at all. That's basically it. I wouldn't recommend one specific program by any means. Just, like I said, squat every single day. When I was saying upper and lower too, just alternating between that. If you're going to train like multiple times a day, the squat, just keep incorporating that. Just don't. Do you get what I'm saying here? I'm saying, so for instance, let's put it this way. Because squatting every day has been proven to be pretty easy to recover from, as long as you're not grinding out reps and have terrible form. It's going to lead to very quick, dramatic strength gains with your squat. It's going to carry over to your cleans. It's going to carry over to your trap bar deadlifts. It's going to carry over to your vertical, carry over to your quickness. I would basically, dude, the way I would do it, I would set it up for you is I would have you warm up with lower reps, okay, for everything you do. So it would be like this. So these videos, remember, they can't be over 15 minutes. Otherwise, like, for whatever reason, I can't upload them to YouTube from my phone. So it'd be something like this. You'd start off dynamic warm-up. You just do some yoga-esque stretches, get your hips opened up, kettlebell, goblet squats. It could even be your squat for the day. Right? It's not an insane load that you're handling, so it's not going to just kill your nervous system. You do goblet squats, you could do swings, and then you could go into a push press, and then you could go into pull-ups and just do some core work. And then the next day, you could do same idea, dynamic warm-up, some swings, then maybe you could go into like a front squat. All right, and then from there, you go into a trap bar deadlift, and then you could do some rows, dumbbell rows, reverse flies, something along those lines, and then ending with more of like yoga-esque stretches, always focusing on your mobility. The easier you can move, the stronger you're going to be. And then just kind of rinse and repeat in that way. You pick the squatting variation that you feel you can recover from, that's going to have the most bang for its buck in terms of carry over to your other lifts, in terms of comfort. Goblet squats are probably the easiest to start with, and you can progress to Zercher squat, front squat, back squat, overhead squat, just for finding weaknesses in mobility, things of that sort. All right, that's about 15 minutes. Let's move on.